And there we go again, guys. It's Join Dota League Season 4 time. My name is HeflaTV and I'm casting here with DS4fish. It's Kawaii versus HEHE United. This is, yep, the playoff stage. It's a best of 3. And well, finally we get started. Only with a, well, 20 minutes delay. They lost a bit of their reserve time, but that's pretty much about it. So let's hop into the draft.
Yeah, hey guys, DS4fish here, and looking to this game, who is your favorite right now, Hefla? Who do you favor in this matchup?
To be honest, like, except for HEHE, 2 names I don't recognize almost. Yeah, I mean, I know Supercell, I know Sai, Princess, Durham, yeah, HEHE, and I don't know even how to pronounce him, Niter. These are the only players I know, and the teams seem to be like sort of reforming, bringing new players in, and we have to actually see what they draft and how they perform. I mean, when it comes to players I know, then Kawaii is definitely the stronger one right now.
HEHE was the team, or HEHE, whatever you want to call him, was the team that was playing with Bambo a couple weeks ago, and they joined Dota League, so perhaps has come back into the scene. Interesting to see when I casted it. Hua is also a very known player, I guess. They're mid. And yeah, I'm kind of excited. They're kind of a crazy team. Every time I see him play this, I see him with a new team. I see him with every time a crazy kind of hero lineup and whatnot. So it's definitely going to be an interesting matchup.
Yep, absolutely. And well, at the moment we are anyway Dota spoiled because there's so much, like, even tier 1 Dota going on. Like I have been watching, unfortunately, IC all the time. And well, also the the Dota 2 Asia Championship is, well, starting with not too many known teams, but like the next days it's gonna be just crazy. There's I don't know, about 50 games to come just within the next 3 days or so. It's pretty crazy. So I'm kind of Dota spoiled at the moment, but I'm kind of happy that I can cast myself instead of listening to IC, because I don't know, when you listen too much to that, you might, I don't know, not know even the game anymore. Either way, let's look into this draft. We have Vengeful Spirit for Kawaii. That's pretty much a standard one from there, and you can go either direction. Orca Matcha is pretty much the same. And now we finally get some character into this draft, the axe being picked, and it's not a direct answer to anything. For now, it's really just a rogue axe jumping up there. It's not an answer, for example, against a shallow crave or anything like that, so let's see where this one is going.
The axe is definitely an interesting pick because not only is it not, there's no combo with him for now, it's also the fact that it's not a second pick material. Usually you want to go for some safer heroes like Benj or Ogre. So maybe HEHE's strategy revolves around the axe. They're known for doing this kind of weird stuff. They were the first people to run a carry IO, so you know, there's that.
Yeah, I mean, HEHE, to be honest, before BBC came on the market, we had HEHE like known as like pretty much a crazy team that comes by nature because of the players. Like Hava is a very nice guy and also a very crazy guy when it comes to, I don't know, playing Dota and everything. By the way, he also, like, in the end of 2.14, he even started to stream for some people who want to follow him, but I can't even remember the URL right now. Doesn't even matter. We get a Viper as the answer directly for Kawaii. That is most likely gonna be our mid hero, then Set, with the Vengeful Spirit still in the mystery spot. We have to see if she's gonna get like a roaming partner and then just going around and making the life harder for HEHE, or if we see her stable somewhere in the lane. However, the second ban stage is on. We have IO. Well, that's something you already mentioned. The IO for HEHE is something that might always come up. The Panda, I'm so happy this one is banned out. And the Void? Well, the Void is out, and a second one to go for HEHE United. It seems like they focus on carries, and yeah, another core is taken out. The Legion Commander.
Interesting ban of the Legion Commander. It's one of those heroes that's really powerful if combined with the right draft. No Skyrath Mage for Kawaii yet, but Skyrath Mage is strangely is still in the pool. Could go for both teams actually, because he's just this versatile hero. Like you said, Vench could both go for the kind of roaming support duel, but he just excels in so many roles. It's kind of insane actually. He's really just a solid hero. Right now though, this pick is going to be quite important for HEHE because we might start seeing what kind of strategy they're trying to develop. Kawaii is the team that's going for the more standard build.
Well, for now, he has to give us like at least a clue what they're going for. I mean, we still need a core, at least one, but I don't think they're gonna play like some full protect one. There will be at least two, so we're gonna place one in the mid, and we're gonna place at least, I don't know, Visage for now. To be honest, I was actually thinking about an Axe being like played somewhere aggressively, maybe in a safe lane, and just keep on pushing. But now with the Visage and the Ogre Magi, this doesn't. No, it doesn't really fit. Like if they would have picked the Dazzle or anything else that could have healed early on, like a Witch Dog, we might have seen an aggressive Axe. But now with Visage and Ogre Magi, I'm not quite sure where we're gonna place this Axe. Plus, we have now 2 more picks to go, and both of them I think should be cores.
Right now, the Sand King pick is also quite a good support as well. Not seeing as much play, but gives him a lot of teamfight potential. There's a Kawaii team, which is quite good for them, and quite powerful against the Axe because of his magical damage rather than physical. But also another thing is that Axe, in this case, is probably going to be played as one of their somewhat cores at least. It could be a mid-Axe, which started getting popularized, especially because we have not seen any Lycan ban. So if you want to run something like Lycan mid or something of the sort, that used to be the big counter, used to be Axe actually, and that's when we started getting notoriety. So perhaps that's what HEHE is going for, trying to bait out the Lycan, maybe. But no, never mind. They're going to go for the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah.
The mid. Interesting.
I mean, I'm still not sure. It's HEHE after all we are talking about. So I mean, the problem is at the moment, like Viper versus Shadow Fiend, Viper versus Axe in both scenarios. Like I'm just giving heads up to the Viper because I don't know, Axe would get kited, Shadow Fiend just loses for the mere fact that he needs a rotation to actually get the Viper down, especially if Corrosive Skin is up and everything. And the range on a Viper is quite nice. You can just, I don't know, harass him down with some poison attacks, and that's pretty much it. As for the Sand King, well, he's gonna have a hard time because they will, like, if he's hiding someone, he's not immediately coming out of the invisibility. We always have some familiar revealing him, or the Axe maybe even taunting. But now it gets interesting for Kawaii. They pick a Templar Assassin, and that means they could swap around, but the Templar Assassin would do just as fine in the mid as the Viper. So we have to see which player picks it up.
Definitely interesting pick up the Templar. Already going. I mean, both teams going for very interesting lineups right now. Maybe the lanes are pretty good for Kawaii right now because Viper can go against an Axe pretty well, but the Templar can do as well, and the Shadow Fiend is obviously countered by both of them. So definitely a strong laning phase for Kawaii right now. Maybe not as strong as of a late game for now because the Shadow Fiend is slightly better than Templar Assassin, but TA is nothing to be mocked at, and Axe is quite bad in the late game. So very solid drafts by both teams. Weird, but definitely solid right now.
Yeah, well, I'm not agreeing on the solid part. To be honest, for me right now, I mean, I definitely like that he has like some certain lockdown. If Axe gets the initiation, we have a follow-up stun plus the Visage. Like we have quite some burst damage there, a slow even in like by the Ogre Magi. The last bans are coming out, but I'm just not seeing where this one is going, especially from the laning stage. As for a roaming partner, the Vengeful Spirit now with the Sand King actually got one. We have to see where the emphasis is for Kawaii. Do they go roaming, or do they just stack something for the Sand King, and whenever he's full HP they try something versus the offlane? That might be what we're gonna see, so he prioritizes the dagger over anything else. But still, like, I just don't see the place. For Kawaii we have 2 stuns, and that's pretty much it. For the other side we have, well, a lockdown, a stun, a slow, and if you count familiars in, another set of stuns. But, well, these fights, I think they come down to a lot of kiting, especially now that we have a 5th one coming up, and it's a puck. So very, very, I don't know, dodgy and elusive hero that is hard to catch.
Yeah, the puck maybe going to be their offlane hero now that I'm looking at it. I don't think it's going to be puck mid in this case. I think it's just taking too much out of other important cores. But definitely, HEHE has a definitely good draft in the sense that they can have a good team fight, but it's not like Kawaii is far behind in that sense. They can both have pretty good team fight potential, but it really depends on Kawaii's last pick, which could be core offlane mid, honestly, considering the versatility of their heroes. What would you pick up right now, Hefla?
Right now for Kawaii, I mean they have their two cores. They have a Sand King and a Vengeful Spirit who gonna stay in the safe lane, and then the Sand King rotating into the jungle to get his dagger. So it's all about an offliner. The Titan that is already banned. That would have been like my suggestion. We have, I don't know, we couldn't even see a Rogue Void just for the sake of a Chronosphere and Epicenter combination or anything like that. Timber also, like the funny thing is that Kawaii already banned like certain offliners I would have put in there, but it's a Juggernaut. Okay, now that gets interesting. So Supercell picks up the Viper. We have Princess on the Templar Assassin. So we're gonna see a Juggernaut in the offlane.
That's a really old thing. That's TA3 times, even older than that. I haven't seen a Juggernaut on offlane, at least in a normal match, for quite a while.
Well, this is well. We said the draft's gonna be weird, and that's definitely happening right now. So we have to see where this one is going, but I don't think we are so off with. We're not too far off with the laning, it seems. Like the Juggernaut, I guess when he goes for like a healing ward build, even if just 1 point in it, he should have enough sustain to stay on the lane. Of course, unless he's getting locked down. We have to see where this axe is ending up anyway. For now, he's heading towards the jungle. And like there's like a train of pretty much everyone following him. On Kawaii's side, they are, yeah, spread out, just getting in their position. So let's introduce them really fast.
Alright, I'll take Kawaii, if you please. I'll go and say that on the dire side, there is Kawaii played Juggernaut, being played by Wing Zero in the aggressive trialing position. Actually, they're going to engage right now. Hua just finds Sai right now, and he's not going to do anything here. They could have maybe gone, probably not.
Nope.
So they're going to disengage in the end. And anyway, Wing Zero on the Juggernaut in the aggressive trialing, perhaps off-lane position. The two supports will be Durham playing that Vengeful Spirit and Sai playing that Sand King. Mid, we're going to have Princess as the Templar, or Princess as the Templar Assassin, and finally in the safe lane position as the carry, Mr. Supercell as the Viper.
Yep, and on the other side we already saw like the axe is being picked up by Hava. In the mid we're gonna see like here VNP GN. Like I don't know what's his real name. Is that how he goes with it? I don't know. Either way, and the last three of course are like Nita here on the Visage. We have the Ogre taken by Fun, and of course the one with the awesome freaking name, Lord of the
4Ks.
Lord of the 4Ks, the Goon, whatever his real name is. Like I really have to ask those in the second lobby, like with what names they go, because apparently they didn't change to anything decent. Either way, he's gonna be on the Shadow Fiend, and now we are heading into, well, the final laning. It is actually a Juggernaut offlane. We're gonna see the Puck in the offlane, so that's exactly how we expected it. The X in the mid, that's quite a surprise. I think the Shadow Fiend could have prevailed there against the TA. Against the Viper it would have been probably a bit worse, but I guess we go for it. At the moment the X, of course, like, when the refraction charges are down and he actually gets a nice call and the creep wave coming, then he might even have a chance against the Templar Assassin.
Yeah, the X is not a bad matchup against the TA mid. I mean, I said that X mid was something that was sometimes done, especially against the Lycan, but I think it works out. It's better than the Shadow Fiend. The Shadow Fiend actually has quite a hard time with the TA unless you get stacks or anything of the sort. So maybe this is better for the Shadow Fiend to secure some farm. And it's not like the X needs much more than levels anyway. I mean, he needs an early blink, that's pretty much it. So, not bad lanes. I thought they were going to have much worse lanes, to be honest, the guys on HEHE.
Well, the good thing about Axe versus TA is that TA's range is so short. Then, well, it's pretty nice actually, because like every time you hit him, even with a melt, you might trigger like a nice little spin, and the spin is most likely hitting you. So that's the good thing about Axe versus TA. It would have been horrible for him if Viper was in that lane. Either way, your microphone in-game is not activated if I'm not mistaken. I just got the message from someone on Steam.
Apologies about that. Sorry, sometimes casters forget with the Twitch thing. Alright.
Yep. Who cares about Dota TV anyway? But either way, second runes are coming up. It's a double damage for the Juggernaut. He's not likely to do actually anything with that rune. And well, top, we had the Vengeful Spirit, who had a man fight before with the Puck, but he's happy about, of course, that bounty bonus. Like in the mid, of course, they're not going for bottles. The TA doesn't have it. The Axe is probably not gonna go for it. So I guess it's all fine. We have to see how much pressure they're gonna put on that tier 1 in the bottom lane, because they could drive out the Juggernaut. He's not using his ward at the moment. He's just settling for his last tango and trying to get some CS out. That's pretty much all of it. So far, 2 minutes into the game, very, very passive, except for the mid lane. I'm always trying to keep an eye on that mid lane, because just one nice call and it might actually happen.
Yeah, and it seems like Vengeance Sanking might want to gank the mid lane at some point. Sanking did not get a level 1 Sandstorm just yet. He has Burrow Strike. It's hard to gank the Axe, though, to be honest. I think it'd be easier if they actually rotated bottom and joined the Juggernaut. Maybe that might be an easier kill on perhaps the Shadow Fiend. Definitely not the Visage.
And I was wrong, by the way. Like, the Axe is actually going for a bottle. Like, it's a 3-minute bottle, so he's... Well, he got it ready for the 4-minute rune. Like, that Ring of Protection, I guess he's still going into Tranquils. I think Tranquils is always a good pickup for Axe, regardless of lane and role in the game. So let's see if he's actually finishing that. But of course now with the bottle he can stay in the lane. And as for the TA, the bottle is just on the way 20 seconds later.
The bell is actually pretty helpful considering Axe has some mana problems if you go for any kind of dunking build, if you really want to go around and using your ultimate on people, and he did get a level of Battle Hunger. That bell is really going to help him out. It is quite a useful ability, honestly, so it's nice that he can spam it like that. And on top of that, it's not like it's going to take away from his farm anyway that much. The main thing for the Axe is getting that early Blink, perhaps, and the early Tranquils, and that's really it.
I think we might see something here. There's the call, and now we have to stun. No, actually, they don't even work with the stun at the moment. It's just about getting him down. And, of course, the Refraction Charge is removed. That's an easy first blood. The TA didn't take the chance to actually move away there. The Axe, super aggressive on the TA. Maybe that should have given it away, but in the end, he didn't realize that there was a rotation. And, yeah, he is striking the first blood.
Really good rotation by the supports, honestly, and the first blood of one of the most important heroes in Kawaii's team, which is the TA. And I think that's securing them a pretty early lead.
Yep, especially because the TA is one of those heroes that has like the highest potential to actually snowball out of all of them. I mean, every hero on Kawaii is kind of a stable hero. There's nothing to argue about it, but the TA is one of those heroes like you really want to have him snowballing. So first blood on him, definitely the nicest one. I already had a look into the jungle, by the way. I mean, the middle camp is not stacked, but here we have a double here and a triple on the central one. So yep, we're gonna have the SK. For now, he's still stacking, so I guess he's gonna go back to lane, getting level 3, and then with the level 2 Sandstorm, he's gonna farm. But he has to be careful, because you have Axe on the other team. If he calls it at like 6 minutes to go aggressive, maybe after a kill in the mid or something, they might just go with the Axe and steal, for example, the camps, because they know this is going on. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to actually find this out, that the SK is stacking somewhere.
On top of that, I don't think the Axe is going to have much trouble if he decides to go lone in the jungle, maybe with just one support, killing the Sanking if he finds in the middle of the Sandstorm. It could be a possibility they might even want to smoke out for that. It actually would be quite an easy kill for them. On top of that, I just want to mention the Sanking got Golem, so he's going to have a hard time on one of the camps.
Yep, definitely. And we finally see some pressure on the tier 1 bottom. I mean, the Jugger, it's not like he can actually do something against it. Like, even if he comes in with Play Fury, they probably could just right-click him down, so he has to go halfway back already. They use the Cliff now, but that's pretty much it. In the mid, well, we had a call by the Axe, but the TA doesn't really care. The Refraction all absorbed, and now all we need is a Magic Missile, and that should guarantee the kill. One more hit is required, and that's it. But let's see, the Visage, well, we have Soul Assumption, and no, never mind that. It was not enough damage. I expected him to go down, but 30 HP that it is. And well, Axe for a tier 1 tower. It's not the worst trade. It's pretty much a revenge kill.
Yep. I mean, it's good considering the tower gold is always going to be there, so that's pretty nice. But you know, the Shadow Fiend getting gold is definitely not something you want to happen. In fact, he should be able to get online rather soon. Axe already has Tranquil, so she's pretty set to go. He might want to start being much more aggressive right now. And well,
yep. Especially in the current patch, it's so crucial that you actually get the tower last hit, because the gold difference from not getting it is quite amazing. So yep, that SF at the moment is having a good time, but of course it's still a Shadow Fiend, which means if that Jagger is level 6 and he gets the Shadow Fiend like alone, that is probably already enough for a kill. But let's see in the mid. Oh, there was an attempt to get the call of the TA, but at the moment, nope, it's not enough. But he's being slowed. There is a second slow available, Psionic Trap. There is another Magic Missile, and it's pretty much the same picture we had already before. Hover is going down. Yes, that's pretty much it. But the Shadow Fiend, he's really trying hard. It was enough for the Vengeful Spirit, but of course not enough for the TA. I guess it's a okay-ish trade, because the Shadow Fiend got some farm off of this, not just the TA. But yeah, the Axe, well, I guess he's kind of disappointed that he died here. He was almost getting out.
It was a rotation forced on the Shadow Fiend. He was forced to use a TP there as well, so not the best Prince is really taking the lead here in the mid lane, really doing a good job. Hua needs to do something here, go top or something of the sort, start being aggressive because he keeps dying to the TA like that. It's not going to serve him for anything.
Yep, and the Viper also at the moment, like, no sign of life for him. I mean, he only has 1 point in corrosive skin. The rest he went full nether toxin, so he really wanted to be full aggressive on that puck, some harass damage, and then it really starts to stack up. The puck actually has to go back, not for the reason of low HP, simply for the reason of like not having any mana, not being able to do anything in the lane. And let's see, Axe in the mid is being super aggressive, scuttled out here by the Vengeful Spirit. We have the TA sitting somewhere here on the high ground. Now the high ground also gets some vision up with that ward, and let's see, the Axe, well, he's being slowed, but this time I don't think they can kite this. Is there a magic missile coming on the Axe? It is actually coming, but they need the Viper for the slow, and yes, now we got it. But the Axe is trying to get the dunk up, and the dunk is real. He's dying right after, but well, that's the achievement they wanted to go for. That's absolutely fine, because it ends in a 2-for-1 trade, and that's super. And well, look at the puck. Oh my god, he finds the escape. One more hit, and is it an uphill miss? No, it's not. That's perfect. So it's a 3-for-1 trade after all.
That's great. The only issue being the Axe is still dying, but I think that was probably the best thing he could have wished for right now. Once he gets Blink, I think he'll start being much more relevant in the sense.
Yep.
But either way, HEHE is doing a really good job right now, maintaining the game, and the fact that the Shadow Fiend is farming really well, he's much scarier than the Viper when he farms, but it is true that Kawaii is going to be able to get an early mech, relatively early, should getting around 12 minutes or something of the sort, considering his farm speed, so that's going to be quite scary. They should want a team fight once they get that mech, and they should be able to win the team fights as well.
Yep, definitely. I was kind of surprised the Juggernaut is not rotating in, because I really thought that the first Omni Slash of the game might have been right there in the situation, but I mean, there were 3 heroes sticking around, so it probably would have been split up, and he found himself then in a position where he really doesn't want to be. At the moment, he just settles for some pressure on the tier 1 tower, TA being in range to get the deny up. The question is the deny coming? Yes, no, maybe it is coming. It's absolutely successful, and now, do we see Omni Slash? It is on 2 creeps and the Orca Magi still. It should be absolutely enough for a kill. So that's another trade that, I don't know, he seems to consciously take tier 1 tower and sacrifice just to support for it. I guess you can go for it. Why not? Yeah,
it's a fair trade, I guess, to get some gold on your carries and whatnot, but you don't want to keep doing that over and over again, because that's slowly how you lose grasp of the game.
Yeah, and it seems like, oh, they find the SK again. He's being silenced. The first drinker of the game is right here, but of course he's breaking it with the burst strike. Makes enough distance. Maybe he doesn't have a stick now. Oh, the jokes are real at the moment. The orb, he's not getting down. I mean, the last right click, sure, but the punk ends up with 0 mana whatsoever. He has 7 stick charges. That should be enough for the next orb, and yep, they're not gonna pursue it. Instead, they're gonna go for the Visage, and 1 more right click should be enough. That's pretty much the first sign of life by the Viper after the mid rotation we saw there. And oh, he wants to keep going here. Why not? Like, unfortunately, there's no swap, there's nothing to interrupt the TP, but well, the SF being very conscious about the fact that he can't really do anything there once the Viper is just coming in and slowing him.
Yeah, good TP by the SF until the Viper gets any sort of item which can stun or has any of his teammates with him. They're pretty secure with just carrying TPs around. In fact, that's going to be an issue with the 3 cores. The Tempo Assassin usually has enough damage to bring you down, even when you're TPing. But the Juggernaut, if his Omni Slash is down, and the Viper as a whole, they're going to have a hard time bringing anyone down if they're all carrying TPs. So they really rely on the supports, the guys in Kawaii. And that means that if you keep getting those kills on the supports, like the Puck did on the Sand King, that's going to secure you very secure fights.
Yep, and now we have a situation here top. I mean, Sai is in position to do something. He doesn't have an epicenter, so that's not an option. The Axe is too tanky at the moment. I don't think they can really go for it. The Omni Slash is still on cooldown, and what they don't know is that there is an Ogre in the background, and he saw the Juggernaut long before he actually came, and now he sees Sai on the sideline. So this is really dangerous, especially the dagger. The dagger on the puck makes it possible. This is right after on cooldown the Stream Coil, and that's an easy kill. Dunk not even required, and on top of it they're just gonna get that camp as well. So very, very efficient. That SK, he just doesn't find into the game, and to be honest, I don't even know why he's farming that camp, because there are 3 other camps waiting for him that he could easily take, finish up his Blink Dagger. He was on 1.3k, and he could have just finished it with those 3 camps and maybe another creep wave somewhere else. But yeah, he dies a second time here.
The SK is being definitely very greedy, and this delay of his blink dagger is definitely not good for the team. Now the guys at mid are actually pressuring. Kawaii is not going to be able to take this tower, not even close actually. The glyph being activated really easily, and the puck being able to shoo him away. But now there's a smoke gank from the Vengeful and the Juggernaut. Seemingly they might be able to
that's
kill
good. That's really
in.
good. But look at the familiars, they actually absorbed something still. It's an easy kill on the Visage, and the Shadow Fiend, he didn't even bother to fight, and now there's a TP out, there's nothing they can do to interrupt this. I actually think the Shadow Fiend might have had a chance to just turn it around, and actually, there it is. Never mind that, the familiar interrupting the TP, that was so close, so on the edge, but well, Viper gets top kill on Hover as a return. In the end, Kawaii trades definitely better, especially since they get the deny on the tower right here.
I just want to mention a very interesting item choices by the Shadow Fiend, going for that Eul Scepter first. Really good, I think. It allows you for some pretty good initiation on single targets, and also gives you that extra mana regen with which Shadow Fiend usually needs, and that extra movement speed which allows you to run from the enemy carries and whatnot, which is probably needed against Juggernaut. So I like the items by the Shadow Fiend. Definitely interesting.
What do you think about the Juggernaut? I mean, this is an offlane Juggernaut for all those who just joined here into the game, but the question is now, do we see like some casual Yasha just coming out for the movement speed? Do we see the Mask of Madness build, or maybe do we just scratch all of this and go, never mind. Actually, he just bought the drum, so he answered my question. Now, that was my third option, go for stats. Maybe stats even in the form of Arcanum Scepter. To be honest, I think for Juggernaut, if you get it relatively fast, and I would fast is for me till like 25 minutes, even 30 minutes, I think it's still an item worth to pick up, especially against the heroes we have here on HEHE.
The Aghanim is definitely a very powerful item to grab, especially if you combine it with other items such as Maelstrom, Basher, something of the sort. Even Diffusal actually would be not the worst of choices here in this game. So I think the Aghanim is almost a must pick right now. They're going to go now on Princess, and the Ignite is up there. Oh, they're actually going to stun now the poor Puck. The Juggernaut comes in with a Blade Fury. Can he do anything? No, it seems like, is this going to be disengaging? No, actually, they're going to go on Psy right now, coming from the back line. Finally finishing off, dunking this Templar Assassin. Another stun on the Hua. Hua might be going down here. One more hit onto it. There's a dead Hua. Can they actually get this Niter? Niter is going to go down as well. That's 2 for 1 for now. This, wow, beautiful courier. Now,
there's still Omnislash and Ogre. Like, he has no TP, no nothing. Maybe he even just gets, I don't know, a ward up in a good position or trying to juke around. No, that's it. He's being found and he can't run away from a Viper. At least the Puck got that one kill off on the SK and he managed to TP out. That's what we couldn't show on the camera because 2 fights going on different locations. But I don't know, like this jump in by Hava on the axe, that was quite interesting. I mean, it looked so amazing. I was like, oh man, there's a 3-man call. But the problem is, like, there were only 2 spins. Like, TA had reflections up. Sure, they got the dunk on the TA, but from there on, it just went downhill. So you easily saw how Kawaii can turn around this fight. And actually, I'm surprised that not more happened. I really thought he's gonna really pay for this.
I think that's been, I mean, like you said, it was unfortunate he didn't get many spins, but it was also the fact that the amount of magical damage that Kawaii has really counters that super amazing Berserker's Call, because the armor that gives you is not that important anymore. So it's kind of scary to do those kind of things, and you saw how much he paid against the Viper.
By the way, look at the pickup of the Shadow Fiend. What do you say about the Eul Scepter Shadow Fiend?
I commented on it earlier when I was talking about how great an item it was.
But like, I mean, now with the Blink Dagger together, isn't that kind of like the overkill sort of thing? Either way, we have a smoke. The smoke actually being revealed here. Hava, jumping on the Sand King. There's one spin, the rest was the orb, and then dunk to finish the business. But, you know, never mind that. The Shadow Fiend just used his Eul Scepter, and that's pretty much it. We have an Omnislash ready on the Juggernaut, and the Blade Fury doesn't end. That's the problem, you can't interrupt it. Oh my god, they also want to scout out here, Rose, the little courier, but in the end, no, nothing of that is actually happening. The Puck, never mind that, he finds the courier. There's 1,650 gold delayed for 3 minutes, but in the meantime, Hava is dying. There's nothing he can do. He didn't even get the call off, and well, Juggernaut is the next one to fall, but the Puck, he just doesn't have enough steam anymore. They have to retreat. Even the Familiars, they couldn't do anything there. Oh well. There's so much going on at the moment, like so much side action. The Shadow Fiend being at the moment like just alone in the game, doing his own business. He's trying to split push, and whether he finds a target, then his Eul Scepter is coming in. I just thought, you know, the Eul Scepter might be just enough. but this time he used Yule Scepter, blinks in, and then the ultimate directly on top. I mean, it perfectly aligns, but I don't know if that's really also like a late game focused sort of thing, because I mean, give it another 20 minutes, or let's just say 15 minutes, and then nobody's too impressed by like this combination of the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, I agree, and it also relies a lot on single targets. But once he gets into a team fight, you can Yo one guy at best, but not like five. So I don't think it's gonna be. I don't love the intimidation that much as the game progresses, but I guess if they can take the game early, it's not an issue. Another Yules is coming out though. It's the one. Never mind. I thought I saw Yules on the Viper. Never mind. Ignore that.
Yules on Viper. That would have been also like next.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Next level plays. Either way, we have no cliff, and this tier 2 tower is pretty much gone. Kawaii calls it. They have no way to actually defending this. Shadow Fiend again getting credit for this. Like it's kind of funny. Like on top of this build he runs at the moment, he has another 2k gold. 1k of it went just in a casual Orca club. So BKB is probably gonna be the next one, and that's pretty nice because now this build he's going for finally gets solid somewhat, because he can actually Yule someone, blink in BKB and cast the ultimate, and there's nothing Kawaii can do at this point. I mean, there's still Viper Strike going through, there's still Omni Slash in theory going through, but that's pretty much it. The rest has to rely on absolute right clicks.
Yeah, it's true, which means it's almost going to be an inevitable ultimate for the Shadow Fiend, which also reduces their right-click damage considerably, which is something that's usually never talked about, but it's quite good. And
look at the Ogre. The Ogre. Oh my god, he's directly under the sentry ward. He was scouting out that Roshan is happening, so he knows that, but Omni Slash still under the sentry ward. And that's pretty much an easy Roshan. But it's a typical one. It's a Roshan for a tier 2 tower, and he seems to be absolutely fine, especially now that the Ogre is down.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate by the Ogre blocking right by the sentry and getting right in the sentry range as he was Omni Slashed. Meanwhile, though, the guys at HEHE are actually taking the top tower, no problem. And they're going to force a TP from Kawaii. Enough. The bench TP is going to be enough to get them away, though.
Yep. I guess they settled for a tier 2 tower and like a third, or no, it's not even a third, it's like, I don't know, maximum a fifth on a tier 3 tower, but they tried to optimize the damage while Kawaii was still on the Roshan. The question is now, what can they do with the Roshan? I mean, of course the Courier is coming back right now, and now we see that is a Yules. You saw it, that there's a Yules. Actually, wait, whose Yules is this one?
Who's on the
It's
Courier?
Supercell's, yeah, you were right. It's a
Oh,
Yules
yeah.
Scepter for the Viper. Oh, never mind, we have a jump here top. Park already used it, there's the call on the Viper, but look how tanky the Viper is at the moment. All of them are low, like even... Oh my god, he's gonna freeman them at the moment. Where's the dunk? The dunk is actually whiffing the entire thing. I mean, sure, Vicious is gonna get credit for it, but he's gonna die like Viper. Just freeman, manhandled HEHE United here. That was a disaster of an engagement.
Yeah, that's really scary, actually. The Viper is really tanky, being able to take that much damage from the three of them.
And that was even without the Yules. Like, in theory, if he would have saved the Yules till the very end, till the Soul Assumption came, he could have dodged the Soul Assumption, survived this fight, and really just, I don't know, put on his flag, like, I just freeman, or like, I just soloed 3 people of HEHE United. That's just insane, but I mean, that's a Viper. 4 points corrosive skin, quite tanky, and he even had 10 stick charges, which he didn't use. Either way, Shadow Fiend trying to come in, he doesn't have his BKB, well, but he just blinks out. The Yule Scepter being the perfect setup there, and wow. I mean, we saw it in D2L, by the way, a lot, that like blinks were definitely fucked up. There are some bugs at the moment in the game when it comes to like shift clicking and stuff. When it blinked like, oh, never mind that. We were on a dewarding mission here at the moment. Vengeful Spirit with the healing ward. They don't get him down. He was so low. One right click away. But well, the healing ward is doing the job. What level is this? This is level 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of half of a fountain at the moment. Still strong enough, and there's the call of the axe. They found a Templar Assassin, but still reflection charges, easy going. Now they want to turn it around. Omni Slash, well, on a BKB, not doing too much. The ultimate directly into the TA. It's only the H is going down now, Blade Fury, but they just call him, and there's the dunk. Dunk number 1. Viper coming in, but eating a multicast right away. There should be the second dunk, and there it is. Now TA, it's his second life. The axe somehow still surviving. No, he dies from damage over time, and they're gonna follow here Templar Assassin, and oh, beautiful play, but the Yule Scepter again saving the Shadow Fiend, and now it's, well, Sand King, the lone survivor. He needs his dagger, but the Familiar scouting him out. He's blinking, but he's blinking top. Nice movement, but the problem is Puck, just more mobility there. Soul Assumption flies and wins. That is a 2 for 5 straight if you count the H's in 2 for 6 straight if you count the H's in a horrible engagement. Horrible.
Yeah, really. I mean, you saw the power of the Yules and the Shadow Fiend. Actually, it's at first I was a little dubious about it. I kind of said it was good, but not the best, maybe. But it's he's doing a great job with it, actually.
Yeah, like I'm so surprised. I mean, this time the BKB it was perfect for this fight. It was a 10-second BKB, absorbed a lot of heat coming like his direction in this fight, and well, he just stood still. And also the TA, I mean, he wanted to get sort of rid of his Aegis, but I think he could have still tried. I'm not sure about the Aegis timer right there, but I think he could have tried to go a bit back, go in with refraction charges, but he definitely, like, he went forward to right click the Shadow Fiend and ate a full ultimate, just like the Juggernaut. And well, that was really... And the funny part is, before we saw the Viper manning up against 3 and winning that fight, and this time, like, he just came wrong time, wrong place. The first time he showed up in that fight, the first thing he sees is a multicast, and from there on, they just... I don't know even if he got his mech off.
I think it's mainly the fact that, well, first of all, the Axe now had the help from the Shadow Fiend, which deals so much damage, actually. You saw one of his right clicks deals around 200 damage, it's insane. And even though the Viper is tanky, the damage is still there. And on top of that, they have the Culling Blade, which is pretty high level, enough to get the Viper down enough to kill him off. So, I mean, the last engagement, I think it was the lack of the Shadow Fiend that really killed off, that really allowed the Viper to survive that long. The Shadow Fiend is such a key player in this game.
No, I think it was he got the Viper Strike on the Axe off, which eventually also killed the Axe, like while he was retreating. But then, like, he got dunked before he could even Yules. So Yules and mech, I think both items were not used this fight. But either way, let's not talk about the old fight, because I think there might be something new coming up here at the moment. The Familiars are scouting, but we just had the Viper TPing out. And, well, Shadow Fiend with the invisibility rune, and we still have that Yule's Blink setup, now also backed up by a BKB. In theory, he could probably blow up a Vengeful Spirit right now, but it seems like they just want to go for a tier 2 tower. That's the objective they want to go for.
Seems reasonable, actually. Much safer play here. Just take the towers, make sure to take all the outer towers, because this is the only outer tower that's left, and then just start threatening the base.
Oh, that's an unfortunate observer ward. Directly planted on a sentry ward by Kawaii. Kawaii expected something like this already happening here. Well, unfortunately the Juggernaut is the one, but oh my god, they have vision, and now the Shadow Fiend, he's probably gonna die before anything's happening. The Yules have to buying some time, but I don't know, the residual damage is not enough. The Blade Fury not interrupting the Blink Dagger right there, and now, oh my god, Viper wanted to come from the side, but now he finally sees him around all these people and nothing's really happening. Where's the Omnislash? It has to be used, might die before anything else is happening. It is on the Axe, but only one of them actually hits him. Axe is, however, still going down, and now the question is, what are we going for? Are they gonna feed the Ogre and then retreat? No, it doesn't seem like it. Puck coming in. Yes, he wants to get the Vengeful Spirit, but he might be the next one paying for it. He has everything on cooldown. Blink Dagger. Nope, he doesn't get it off. So that's a 3-for-1 trade. Absolutely not worth it. Well, at least they got a tier 2 tower on the way down, but still, that was a good one for Kawaii.
Yeah, and they also wasted a pretty good BKB charge, the 9-second BKB charge in the Shadow Fiend, which is also pretty major. As you said before, 10 seconds is insane, so wasting the 9 second on just an escape is not good at all.
Yep, absolutely. And, well, that was just a bit too ballsy play. I mean, sometimes you have this invulnerable mode when you have, like, invisibility rune or, like, a haste rune. Oh, but never mind. In the mid, Viper Yules the Shadow Fiend, I think, or the other way around. Yeah, it was the other way around, or they both used each other. I have no idea which Yules that was, but he gets out with the Blink Dagger.
They both yield the Shadow Fiend, because the first Yules cancels the blink, so the Shadow Fiend yield himself so he can blink away.
Oh my god, this is just crazy. The Viper can't engage on the Shadow Fiend because they got both Yule Scepter. And if you would have asked me, like, as a caster, have you ever casted like cores with the Yule Scepter, I would have said no, but yeah. Ever since this day, I can say I've seen everything.
I think it's proof, though, that the Yules has become quite powerful in the metagame right now, which is kind of scary. Like, they buffed it slightly, they had these ninja buffs, like the extra 50 damage and whatnot, and now everyone's using it.
Yeah, definitely. And, well, the good thing about the Yule Scepter is really now, like, the own use is still just as strong as it always has been, but the use on the enemy now is so much better, because, like, you don't put the enemy in a good position with the Yule Scepter. Remember those pops and everything, or even high high tier games where the enemy accidentally or sometimes just to caught up like Yules the enemy, and then you didn't interrupt the Blink Dagger. It was mostly just a perfect setup for your enemy. This changed, and that's why Yule Scepter is an item we see with such a high frequency at the moment.
And the best way to counter Yules is with your own Yules, so that just adds more Yules.
Yeah, that's the sad truth. And the problem is also like in those fights. I mean, like Dota, like in what direction Dota is developing is quite interesting, because like with all these, I don't know, especially Yule Scepters, they sometimes fights appear to be, I don't know, one by one side, but then suddenly you see like tons of people flying in the air, and then somehow they manage to reset fights, come back or return. It's pretty insane actually. Either way, Hava is back from AFKing, and we have to see what's happening here, because at the moment we have a Freeman smoke. It's the Sand King, he can open, we have Omni-Slash not ready. It's 20 seconds, that's probably something they need for a gank. But of course Vengeful Spirit, all the right clicks, do. Let's see if that's actually happening, but oh, Blink forward, he's putting a ward there, but he's in a very awkward position. It's just too bad the Ogre can't see uphill. And at the moment, it's just, a Freeman smoke ends up just being a warding mission.
Well, it's pretty valuable wards, to be honest. This that ward will allow to give him a lot of vision. Maybe get some ganks, some smoke ganks, which would be great for the Kawaii team. So.
Yeah, but the problem is the way he is at the moment sticking around. I mean, they're not like, I don't know, clustered somewhere, but they are in a range where they can easily answer to any aggression by Kawaii, even with those aggressive wards. But what I like, of course, Roshan is about a minute away, I think. Yeah, Roshan is about a minute away, and now they at least know what's going on in the enemy jungle. They know exactly how many people are like hovering around. We have at the moment the Puck. Well, he has a TP, but the closest TP would be tier 1 or tier 2. It's pretty much the same distance to Roshan, but of course he's not the fastest one. Let's see. We have Visage at the moment. Oh, Visage being under attack. Of course, it's just driving him out. And maybe this aligns perfectly with Roshan. Oh, but Sai, they find the Orc Magi. There's an easy stun to Familiars. They could still do something. There's the first stun, the second stun, and now there's even the turnaround. They try to do something, but the swap being used to interrupt the easy kill. And as I said, it might align perfectly with Roshan. They driven out the Visage, they killed the Ogre, and now Roshan is about to spawn.
Yep, this Roshan could be kind of crucial, especially if Princess sets to grab it, and I'm pretty sure she will, unless they kill her right now, because they're really planning on it. Hua, oh, I think he messed up with the blink again. Yeah,
that's what we saw on D2L like the entire last days. I don't know what this is about, because I personally haven't encountered it, but many people complain about like certain bugs with blink and stuff. Like,
yeah, I've seen it. I've experienced it firsthand. Lost me a couple pugs with that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Either way, Roshan is actually gonna happen, but the problem is like it took so much time that he is completely back, and now they're moving. And let's see. Of course, Hava, he needs a good initiation. Like, the axe initiation is absolutely crucial, especially if you get Princess. If you get Princess out of the equation, then it's really just a Viper who's scary. But let's see, Viper, they saw him, and now the question is like, oh, where's Axe jumping in? Never mind that, he just jumped on the camp. But Viper... Oh, there we go. The vision is there. The blink dagger, however, is not, and now, well, Yule Scepter, and that's it. But in the backlines, we have the BKB being used here by the TA, and of course, which is the first one to fall. Axe is trying to make the town successful, so on him, but oh my god, the ultimate of the Shadow Fiend not doing as much as we expected, especially the mech is counter healing everything already. Templar Assassin still alive, the Shadow Fiend dying here, Sand King gaining tons of damage, but also alive, and that's what matters. The Omni-Slash finishing off the axe, and in the end, Kawaii, all of them are alive. We have to see if the Puck, I mean, if that orb hit, that would have been a potential double kill, but still, he would have paid with his own life. In the end, they can go for Roshan, especially in 30 seconds we have a healing warden that's level 4. It's a stronger heal than the fountain. So let's see if they actually get it through.
They should be able to get it without any issues, and hopefully TA, do you think Viper, TA, or Juggernaut should take it? Oh, actually,
I think Princess, yeah, Princess, it's the best target. Like, he's also the one with the highest damage at the moment. Since he has the BKB, he's pretty scary. And I thought the Puck, I mean, I know they will do Roshan, but I was just looking forward if, well, never mind. Puck is gonna snipe the Courier. This time, nothing in there. But, well, Courier is Courier. Like, after you have such a heavy beating, plus you lost Roshan, you're happy about every income.
Yeah, that's, I mean, maybe now they want to start engaging in some team fight, maybe force a team fight just while they have the ages, because the 5 minutes for it is actually not that long. So it's now their time to fight, now or never actually.
The problem is that, like, I mean, I said it before the fight started, like, that Axe's initiation is so crucial. But the problem is, like, I mean, look at this fight. He only managed to taunt, what? A Templar Assassin that was BKB'd up. Like, he didn't really care. I mean, I think he did 2 spins in this fight, and the rest he was busy running, and the Omnislash finally ended, like, his whole run force run mode. The problem is Hava really is not coming into the game. What he needs is finding them in an awkward position, maybe taunting free, and then the Shadow Fiend is coming in where we see the full potential of the Shadow Fiend ultimate. But so far we only seen that once, and that's pretty much it. So we have to see where this one is going. At the moment, Axe, oh, he's... Never mind that, he actually disjointed this one, but still chooses to TP out, I guess, just to be safe. Never mind that, look at the bottom lane, we have the Shadow Fiend, the Shadow Fiend I say, the Sand King finding the puck. And in the end, nothing's really happening. The Juggernaut, of course, would have been amazing if you find the puck after the phase shift, but no, it's a hard target to kill, even for both of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to kill a puck with your Juggernaut, especially if you can't force the phase shift out. It's really hard to kill a puck in general. So, and puck already has that Ginzus, so that's gonna be quite huge. Actually, he's not able to do that on the Juggernaut in the fight, and that's, I mean, maybe that is what is gonna allow to turn the team fights.
Yep.
It's just the issue with Kawaii is that they're never getting together because they know how to play against this lineup, and they're not getting together for the Axe to get a call or for the Shadow Fiend to get his ultimate out, at least not properly. So, I mean, they're playing really well in this sense, and perhaps they need more individual disables to get them down.
And now we have a Manta Style on the Shadow Fiend, so another item, not just for additional damage and stats, also an item that is very nice to disjoint certain things coming up. May it be stuns, may it be Viper Strikes and everything, so I definitely like that pickup right now. And of course it's also quite nice for sieging. The Shadow Fiend illusions do quite a ton of damage, and well, if they actually come to this point where they siege high ground, you can definitely send them in on cooldown. Of course not the most effective way, but I mean, we learned in the last some patches that, well, the most crucial thing at the moment is really breaking high ground. But let's see, for now we want to break the first tier 1 tower here, or yeah, the first one in mid, since there's only one. Either way, Axe being caught out, and oh my god, I don't think he can do anything. Omnislash even being used, I mean, he's using Mac, but he's just stalling some time with it. That's, well, it was a very optimistic try. I don't know what he was even trying. Was it a deny attempt?
I guess he was trying to get some damage on them, maybe bring him off before they start taking this tower. I don't know. It was his. He was gonna die anyway, especially when that Omnislash with Aghanim is level 3. That's too much damage.
Yeah, but Kawaii is doing now the right thing. We have Aegis on Princess for still quite a while. I mean, this Aegis should be up another 3 minutes or so they can go and push. Without the Axe initiation, they have nothing to fear. Of course, the Shadow Fiend is split pushing at the moment. That's definitely nice. Using the Manta for it as well. So the tier 2 tower is going to fall. And Kawaii, nope, they're not going to go for a trade or like this gamble. They definitely say, guys, we go back even though we have the Aegis. But I think it might have been interesting, like going for a push here. Let the Shadow Fiend be Shadow Fiend. Maybe just rotate one in there and then push tier 3.
Well, it was a safer choice because the Shadow Fiend does. I mean, he can definitely kill one if they don't send the right guy. Even Viper, maybe if Shadow Fiend plays properly. So it's kind of scary to send just one guy when Shadow Fiend is orientated, at least in item build, to just killing that one guy. So playing it safe, it's good for Kawaii. They're not doing badly. Why? No, don't threaten the lead.
Yep, and there's some pings coming out in the mid. They're just pinging out that the Templar Assassin there is invisible. They pretty much know about it. There's Hava is even... I don't know, they say, hey, the Viper is there, let's fight in the mid. Templar Assassin being slowed there, there's the hacks, where's the town, there's the town. Still not getting a BKB off, but there's also not enough damage to dunk him, and the Axe going down. Like this Omnislash, just so much damage. Disjoint here by the Viper Strike, but Visage being caught out, being the second victim of war. And oh my god, Ogre Magi, he just came in, wanted to help his buddies, but he's paying for it. The Aegis being, at the end of this fight, lost to Roshan. He reclaimed it, but well, you don't need the Aegis to break 2 versus 5 the high ground.
Yeah, I think they should be fine here. They should be able to take this high ground. There's 3 guys there, and there's no buyback.
Yeah.
Axe is the main initiation regardless, so Shadow Fiend is trying to split push, try to pressure him away, but I don't think that's going to do anything actually.
They should be able to take grabs. I mean, look at it. They're like, okay, guys, we can't do anything. He doesn't even send another orb in there. Kawaii, like they do it every day. They just get their axe instantly back. Shadow Fiend, well, he took one creep wave as a trade. That's pretty much the best you can mention at the moment for HEHE. So the game, I don't know, it's kind of collapsing for HEHE at the moment.
I mean, they start out well, but like you said, they can get good axe initiation. It's really hard for them to win any team fight, and Kawaii's not allowing them to get any good axe initiation to begin with. On top of that, the Shadow Fiend kind of desperately split pushing means he's never there for the team fights. They can't really force the team fight to try to turn the game around. Unless the Shadow Fiend gets really farmed and is able to split push towers and beat everyone like a boss, it's going to be quite hard for them to get back into the game. They really rely on the Shadow Fiend right now.
Yeah, but the problem is, I mean, you saw it. They didn't even have too much of a bad engagement. I mean, this was a hexed TA. They jumped him, got the town, no BKB, no refraction charges. Only once he got it. Oh, never mind. They found it, and ultimate even being used for the Vengeful Spirit. I mean, it's an interesting build, but all this committed, like, just for a little Vengeful Spirit. The question is now, do they capitalize on it? I mean, a Vengeful Spirit, in theory, you can even buy back. So I'm not quite sure if that was really like a crazy achievement.
I mean, it's not that worth it, but it's true that Vengeful in the sidelines has been doing a lot in these team fights, because with his swaps and his stuns and whatnot, he's really messing up the positioning for the guys at HEHE. So he was a kind of a key role. I think killing him is actually quite important. The tanking is not as important, not even close. But I mean, I don't know. They can't just sacrifice everything, especially team fight ult for that bench. They should just use the axe, and that should be enough.
Yeah, I was just questioning it because if they wanted to push afterwards with the Vengeful Spirit who has a buyback and all this commitment, I mean, the ultimate being used and whatnot, like, I really thought it was a waste. But
yeah,
well, they went instantly back and farm, so they were well aware of the fact that after the Vengeful Spirit, nothing else is gonna happen. So I guess it's absolutely fine. By the time Kawaii is gonna engage somewhere else, ultimate and everything will be up, including the souls on the Shadow Fiend. So yeah, it was really just me doubting the fact that, like, they couldn't somehow capitalize on it. It's just a random kill, and I guess there it was worth it. Well,
at least they're gonna try. The Kawaii now are gonna try putting some pressure. Meanwhile, the guys at HEHE are actually putting some pressure up top, which is the only lane that's somewhat pushed for them. It's gonna maybe be a tower trade. That's gonna be the last outer tower for the guys at sorry, no, the bottom outer tower for the guys at HEHE.
Way too slow for this. Like, this tower is going down before he can even say trade. And by the way, what we completely neglected here in the entire cast so far is showing the crafts. I mean, we knew the game before right now was kinda even, but Kawaii now taking over the game. The experience graph shows us pretty much the same thing. Like, they were about 10k ahead. And well, in gold, it's still pretty close, and that's the funny part. Even though Kawaii looks pretty good after a Rex taken in mid, I mean, mid is one of those lanes where nobody really cares about the Rex. Of course, it's bad to lose them, but as in from a defensive point of view, it's all good because it's really easy defendable. And side lanes, these are really the lanes that hurt. And at the moment, Kawaii, it's their game. But Axe, oh my god, he needs to get that blink out ASAP. If Vengeful Spirit gets him with a Wave of Terror, that is bad, but never mind, it's not gonna happen, and he's also not even trying. I mean, he could have Wave of Terror and then go for a swap attempt, but it's also just level 2. I don't think that would have been enough for range.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that big a deal as long as Axe is fine. Visage does get his Aghanims though, so the guys at HEHE are definitely getting some items to maybe turn this around. Puck might be going for Aghanims as well, that point booster. Do you think an Aghanims is a good choice for Puck now?
To be honest, at this stage right now of the game, I'm not quite sure if the Aghanim Scepter is really the best one. Like, I wanted to see maybe a Shivas or something, like some AoE damage, because in all those fights, I mean, they initiate, for example, on the TA, and like, till they get the reflection charges off, until they get him down, like, for example, in dunk range, so much time is elapsing. It's not even funny to watch this, and I thought some more burst damage might do it. Well, let's see, TA gets the rune denied. Double damage on a TA, that would have been, of course, really bad. In the end, the Familiars do pretty much a good job. He had to resummon them anyway, because he just got his Aghanim Scepter, so that was actually absolutely perfect and very effective, using the old Familiars to deny it and resummon the new ones. 3 of them are coming now, and they're de-warding like a boss at the moment.
And Aghanim's now completely on the puck. Not sure how this is going to really change team fights for them, but I guess they can stay longer in the coil, and then that allows for better Shadowfiend ultimate. Maybe Axe.
Well,
Maybe
it's,
this
it's,
is what they
it's
were
good
waiting for.
against the TA, because if TA really pops the BKB, and now is being stunned due to the Aghanim Scepter, that's really the thing I absolutely like. I mean, he's
That's
the
true.
one that really should not pursue anyone. But oh, Hava being caught out here. He's in the air, maybe getting a nice call, but nothing's really happening. But the Shadow Fiend is hopping in, and there we go. Is the damage this time enough on the Temple Assassin? There's the dunk. There's even the multicast on the Viper. The right-click scar now coming in, and he's going down. It's 3 down already. The Jugger, oh my god, he didn't even do anything this fight, and now Vengeful Spirit also being caught out. The Yule Scepter like interrupting the TP. This is a 4-for-0 trade. It looked like Hava just dying really fast on the axe, but in the end it was more or less just a perfect setup. You know what's kind of funny? When Hava is trying to find the fight, as in him jumping in and finding a nice ton, he's not getting it. But now Kawaii gave him the perfect setup, using him and grouping around him so that the Shadowfan has like amazing setup. I don't think that was really a good positioning.
I'd say that was quite a mistake by the Kawaii team, to be honest. Yule's the axe, maybe kill him off before he does anything, because he was the key element in those fights that was just missing. So at least HEHE knows that they have the potential to win these fights, which is pretty good. But their middle racks are being pushed. I mean, their middle lane is being pushed right now, which is not the ideal situation. They are still somewhat losing, but they have potential to come back.
The problem I have right now is that, like, I mean, here they jump into Roshan, but I don't think this is enough. Yeah, and they're going out, because I mean, the one who actually has the damage to kill Roshan, not to mention, of course, also the minus armor coming along with, like, he TP'd mid just to defend the creeps who were already knocking or saying hello to the tier 4 towers or working already on the first effigy. So they just TP'd there in time. And now, Kawaii, they're absolutely, yeah, easy going back. Roshan is theirs at the moment. They're just too far away. The puck, well, Orb is scouting it out, but that's pretty much it. The Roshan is on 1/3. We have to see. I don't think he can actually do something against this.
Yeah, I think they're just gonna give the Roshan to Princess once more
never
time.
mind,
Never
the
mind,
puck.
he's gonna steal it.
He just jumped in and he got it. Now the question is, does he manage to... Yeah, he managed to actually blink out, but now he's under focus. A nice multicast here. One is already down the SK before he actually gets anything off in the fight. The Axe jumped in, a nice call, but he has to pay with his life. Now the Shadow Fiend, it's all about his right clicks, but there... Well, at least they disjoint something. The problem is the Shadow Fiend, well, disjointing now even the Viper Strike and TPing out. Well, this one was very interesting. It ends for now at least with a 1-1, but no, never mind that. The Park, this is an Orb and he's definitely gone. But the question is, Magic Missile, this time not dodge, but 3 familiars now, blocking the way, stunning them all. And I think this is an easy retreat now for the Park with the help of his little friends. So... who won this? A 1-1 trade with the Aegis stolen. I guess we call it a tie?
Yeah. I mean, the Roshan gold still goes to the guys at Kawaii.
Yeah.
So...
oh, but they found the puck here. Phase shift. And now with the... oh, with the play fairy, I don't think he can... never mind that. He can actually blink out and he's just gone. Like this
yeah,
puck...
there's 2 spells you can't do that with. Oh, actually the Kun now going down up top, using BKB just to run away one more time. Has Yules, he's going to use to try to gain some time, but it's not going to be enough. In fact, never mind, it is. He's going to blink away and...
I can't believe this. 30 frickin' HP. 30 frickin' HP. Yule Scepter is just too frickin' strong. And he's saying it. Yule's literally best item in Dota. It's unbelievable. Like, this Yule Scepter did so much work. Like, I apologize for every critical word I had at the start of the game because, wow, just wow.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, good job, Shadowfiend. He's doing really good plays with the Yules. He proves
look at
that
that
it's the best
Viper.
item on everyone.
Like, look at that Viper and tell me what's wrong.
Actually, he's gonna go on Puck. That's wrong.
Well, that's also wrong, but the Puck is, I think he's safe, even though the Viper Strike is at the moment on him. But no, what's absolutely wrong with this picture is, like, whenever you see a Viper, you're used to a very slow hero, but Jesus Christ, he's going for that race car build. Like, Sanger, Yasha, a Yule Scepter and BOT, so a Viper with a 493 default movement speed. This is something... wow. Tactical talk. Do we kill Viper? Yes, no. There's no one around, so Hava is absolutely making this a poker game right now.
Wow. I don't know. Actually, I don't know why.
Supercell. Shots fired. Accusing them of puppy pausing.
HEHE would never do that. Trust HEHE.
Never. But still, I would actually like to see a legit reason for this pause, because it seems kind of random. Everybody is here. Maybe we're gonna see a disconnect popping up in any second.
No, it seems like everything's fine. Maybe Hua is peeing.
I don't think so. I mean, never mind that. Yeah, it's a Shadow Fiend. He was just too busy doing some theory crafting about the Yule Scepter. Either way, Puck. Well, he's just gonna hex the Viper, and in the end, well, I don't think the Viper is too scared, and the Puck, he has to get the hell out of here. Yeah, and he's just TPing. BOTs make it so easy. So at the moment, when it comes to being elusive and just playing around with the enemy, like, he definitely gets the style points, but the problem is still, there is a base standing for Kawaii, and he took quite a beating in some of the fights we had here in those 45 minutes we have already. I'm not quite sure if it's really the right game to play around. I like the Shadow Fiend for his split push attempt, because like that top tower, for example, is down to a third of his HP. Of course, there's a lot more to come, and they also should not forget that they have one Rex down. So, I think they have to, yeah, get this done.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but in the same sense, if the Shadow Fiend can... I mean, it's just a matter of time till the Shadow Fiend can be able to take down towers, especially with that Bloodlust, which I actually completely forgot about until now. He should be able to take down towers by himself when the rest of his team is fighting, so it's really, can the rest of his team withstand enough of a fight for the Shadow Fiend to just kind of take these racks and slowly rat his way to victory?
Yep. At the moment, Kawaii, they take like a defensive approach. Like, they're in their base, they say like, no guys, we are not going anywhere. There is no one, absolutely no one who's split pushing at the moment, even though I think they could like get someone split pushing, but let's see. I mean, Shadow Fiend just working with some illusions here, the Puck doing the pushing. I'm not quite sure if both teams really have a game plan. At the moment, Kawaii take the initiative here. There's a 5-man smoke, and now the question is, what fight do we see? Is it a good one for Kawaii or is it not? Because we have 2 buybacks being used on the Viper and the Jugger, so this fight is really deciding about Rex or not. And now, there we have it. TA jumping in on the Shadow Fiend. There's the Viper Strike as well. He's being slowed. We have a nice disjoint by the Axe. He's sort of safe. The Visage is the first one to go down. That's an easy one. The question is now, what do we get from here? Well, the Dreamcoil holding them all together, and the Epicenter doing absolutely no do damage here. And well, they try to scout out Hava, but nope, they're not gonna find anything. This 4 stuff, it comes way too late. Like, after all is said and done, we have just 1 victim. That's the Visage and 2 of his familiars. That's pretty much it.
That's not a good trade for the guys at HEHE, honestly. Losing the Visage is not the best, but he does have a buyback. He will have the familiar in 20 seconds or so, so it's not the biggest of deals. I don't know if you noticed, by the way, but you can actually get people stuck with the familiars. Poor Princess got stuck there with the familiar, so maybe they want to do that next fight now that they discovered it.
I mean, the interesting part is, like, this was really, like, maybe the outcome of the fight is kind of, I don't know, underwhelming, of course, for viewers and casters, but, like, for Kawaii, this was really a hot fight. This was pokering absolutely high, because if they would have lost this fight, they had no base defense, with 3 people not having a buyback at all, because it's on cooldown, so a lost fight there, and he capitalizing on it would have been horrible. But oh my god, we have a jump here, the Axe finding someone, but at the moment the Omni Slash just into all of the creeps, Mantis Star interrupting and all of it. Well, nice ultimate, but the Shadow Fiend is going down now. All the damage is dying there as well. Axe just surviving due to the armor of the Call for a bit longer, and the Ogre, oh well, he's too slow. He has 2 heads, but he needed rather 4 legs instead. Not fast enough. So 3 down for HEHE, and now Kawaii finally in a good position. Also, the buybacks I've been talking about, they're coming up again, and they have enough gold.
Except for the Ogre Magi, both Shadow Fiend and Axe could buy back, and I think they're going to be forced to buy back. The question is, though, the Epicenter is going to be active, obviously, except for the Omni Slash. They'll have most of their ultimates, and even the Omni Slash, if they wait enough. Can they take another team fight? Can the guys at Kawaii take another team fight?
Well, at the moment, with the current HP and everything, I think they might be able to do so, but at the moment it's all about baiting those buybacks. I mean, on the Ogre you don't really need it for the 10 seconds, but the Shadow Fiend, getting the Shadow Fiend buyback is absolutely crucial. At the moment they work against backdoor protection. The Familiar is buying some time, but of course when they are back they might get snatched. Some, of course, here and there some spam, and well, the Puck, making it all snowy everywhere. But now the creeps are here and it's real. Do we see something? Do we engagement? No buyback by HEHE. They want to stall some time. They don't want to use it. They know exactly if the Shadow Fiend is dying after a buyback, this is bad. So they're gonna sacrifice the Rex here. I don't know if that's the right decision. Being down 2 Rex after it looked like they came back into the game. This is,
I mean,
question mark for me. A big one.
Could they have even taken the team fight? Even if Shadow Fiend bought back, Juggernaut has Omni Slash. I mean, all the ultimates on Kawaii's side, except for the Epicenter because there was not enough mana, were up. And I'm pretty sure that the guys at HEHE had an idea that that was the case because the Omni Slash doesn't have the largest cooldowns. So
I'm not so sure about this. I mean, seriously, it's very interesting that this decision came out because first Kawaii makes a call where it was really a game-deciding fight. If they would have lost it, that would have meant Rex. Now after they won it more or less, or like the outcome was underwhelming, they took an amazing fight. And to be honest, I think Kawaii is also surprised with what they got here. I don't think they came for the buyback and they went out with the Rexes unexpectedly. Yeah, I actually think so. But I don't know. They're the players here. We have to see what they want to go for, because now with 2 Rex down, you have to go for all out. You have to go bottom, fight and win.
I mean, it's the fact that the guys at HEHE don't have the time anymore to waste. On top of the fact the Axe is not the greatest in late game, and you know their heroes are losing effectiveness except for the Shadow Fiend. It's also just the fact that they're really against the ropes here. They have to, like you said, do one final thing and be able to win with that final thing, because they're in dire straits.
Yeah, I mean at the moment with the current golden buyback situation, we have, even if we have a full-out fight now, we probably have enough for HEHE base defense, so they can stall some time, drag this game on. But well, it's a bad sign. If they lose this fight, it's really a bad sign. But at the moment, it's all about Roshan. 2 minutes away, or about 2 minutes away. It's a relatively slow spawn. I mean, this is what? This is 8 plus 2.5 or so, or 8 plus, yeah, 8 plus 2. So we have like 10 minutes Roshan timer. And, well, you see that it's also so much harder for them to split push, because before the Shadow Fiend was mobile enough, he could do certain things, like even damage the tier 3 towers. Now, with 2 racks down, this is everything but good.
Yeah, the only lane they actually can split push somewhat is the top lane. I mean, they can split push every lane, but the only lane they can do it successfully on is the top lane. And even if they actually manage to get the top lane, that's not even enough anymore, because there will still be 2 against 1 lanes. Obviously, Kawaii doesn't want to give that up, but it's just not that great anymore. In fact, it could be the Kawaii if the guys at HEHE decide to split push, especially Shadow Fiend, which is their core role. They could just take the throne. They just don't even need to worry about him.
Yep, it's pretty interesting, to be honest, to see this, because like I just don't see the game plan at the moment for HEHE. They made this call like consciously to not buy back, to not defend, and now where are we in this game? That's the biggest problem. We have to see, is there something more coming out? I mean, we have a Daedalus now finished on the Shadow Fiend, so talking about some item progress, we have the Orca Magi being 500 gold away from Scepter. Oh, never mind that. We have, oh my god, a call here on the Juggernaut. That's an easy kill. Dunk not even required. He wanted to go for the puck. He has a buyback, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he has a buyback. So, let's see. Now it's HEHE's turn to bait the buyback, but after this buyback, I think they are in the same position we talked about.
Yeah, but I think they might... Oh, they're actually not going to buy back. Yeah, usually Glyphed, so they're definitely going to defend this.
Yep, I mean, at the moment they got Cliff, but no buyback yet. Do they engage in this fight? I mean, as soon as this axe jumps, we have a buyback button on the Jugger going off. So that's the biggest thing. But at the moment, the axe... Oh, he's jumping in. He has the Templar Assassin. Now the question is, do we have enough instant swap on the Shadow Fiend? He gets the ultimate off on 3 people. It's a ton of damage. Heal Scepter buying some time here for the Viper, using the cheese as well. The Omni Slash now finishing off the Shadow Fiend. Also getting some nice damage here by the death animation, but in the end, well, Axe with that, he's pretty much out of the business. Or is he? Never mind that.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, his corpse is at the fountain. It was a pretty close call.
Yeah.
Still, it's... I think Kawaii, they're gonna rush now. I mean, they used 2 buybacks, so it's kind of risky if they go all out. I think they're gonna settle for Roshan, and he just lets the death timers take down. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really safe bet. This rush, I mean, they're just probably gonna go for the princess one more time. And another scary thing is the fact that Juggernaut's actually getting quite farmed right now, and he's a pretty considerable carry now that the VAT got reduced. So it's also another force to be reckoned with. Oh, this Aegis not being picked up. What? Are they just
Aegis?
there?
No, it's for Supercell.
Okay.
He's
I thought
gonna
that
get
was
it.
like-
I mean, last fight he had the cheese.
Mhm.
This time he gets, who got the cheese now?
TA.
Oh yeah. To be honest, I think the other way around is a tiny bit better, because so far the Viper with the Yule Scepter was always able to get the cheese off and to actually stand there with full HP. I think even last fight he used it a tiny bit too early because he was just down like to 60% HP or something, but better safe than sorry, I guess, especially if I have an axe still living who can taunt you and then dunk you. Either way, 15 seconds on the SF timer, and they go directly for the tier 4 towers, and there's the puppy paws. If that's not a puppy paws, yeah, well.
They're just calling it. They just want to provoke a fight right now.
Yeah, but I think this time the call would be don't use it. Don't use it, because I think the tier 4 towers with a cliff, it's absolutely fine. Like the ultimate would not be up right now anyway. Hava is back in 2. 13 seconds on the Shadow Fiend. Like one tier 4 tower will probably fall, the second one will stand, and they are full 5 men versus Kawaii. And also Kawaii, well, the Juggernaut is now coming in the back line, so by the time HEHE is ready to fight, we also have a full 5-on-5 situation. It's, well, I wouldn't use the buyback, but of course it's pretty risky. It's pretty risky what they do right here. Of course we have to deal with the disconnect first, but well, this is it. This is the fight for this game number 1 in this best of 3 playoff in the Joint Dota League. So let's see who gets it.
I would agree with you with the buyback idea, but at the same time, I don't think they can win a team fight as a whole, because except for the epicenter, everything else is up. And we also, if the Shadow Fiend does not buy back, and the Axe obviously does not buy back, I don't think the Axe should at any point. But if the Shadow Fiend does not buy back, he can't get into possible position to get the best possible team fight. So maybe it's necessary just to be able to get. I mean, usually it's not the best idea, but just to get that better team fight. Because I think if they just come out of the fountain like they usually should, I don't know if they're able to take it.
Yep. I mean, that's the big question, but still, I think this tier 4 tower might survive for another 2-3 seconds. We have another 5 seconds of the cliff buying time, and at that point the Shadow Fiend has like 3 seconds left on his timer, so he's not gonna use this buyback. I don't think so, because it's too risky. Because if the Shadow Fiend is going in and dying in this fight, they even if they fight with a blank throne, it's still better. But either way, let's see. There's the G call.
Oof.
We see what HEHE is doing. At the moment, yep, the tower damage is real. The cliff being used right away. 5 more seconds where they can't really do anything. 5 more seconds on the respawn timer as well. And there is the Dream Core already, but not really a follow-up at the moment. Just some damage on the Viper. We need the Axe call. And where is it? Oh my goodness. I just don't see it happening at the moment. There's the Hex. There is no epicenter. It's on cooldown, but the Shadow Fiend is coming in. Big fat ultimate. 1 is already going down, but he's protected by the Aegis, so nothing really happened. Now is the turnaround here on the Shadow Fiend. Where is it? Hava is trying to do something. There is the Juggernaut dying eventually. Also the Shadow Fiend going down. Instant buyback. The second buyback coming out, and now Kawaii, they get, oh my god, a bitter soup to eat. All 5 are down for the price of 2 buybacks. And now the question is, how fast can HEHE push this out? Did you expect this fight to go this way? I mean, we had so much time to think about it.
I honestly didn't. To be honest, I honestly thought Kawaii could take it, but I mean, good fight by HEHE. Very
like
good fight.
8k straight, 7k gold, 7k damage difference. That's really the Shadow Fiend ultimate really did a ton there.
It's just huge. Honestly, really good job by HEHE. This might be the chance they have. There's only 3 buybacks on the Kawaii side, which actually not that much, especially because they don't have the Omni Slash at all. So they might be able to take another team fight here. They do have a couple. I mean, they don't have the Shadow Fiend ultimate, but now, in fact,
buybacks are raining in. Let's see, but still, buyback is one thing. There's no cliff available, so this is bad news, at least for one set of racks. The big question mark is now, do they have enough steam to go for something else? Another racks or tier 4, I think they just answer it right now, but there's already a call on the TA, and this is of course really bad news. If he dies, and he dies, this is so bad news. You can't buy back, and the SK is going down as well. He actually does it. They're going back to the tier 4 towers. Everything else is just stalling time. Kawaii, they have no answer for this right now. This is so bad news. Second tier 4 tower to fall. Viper, of course, trying to do a good job here on the puck, but the puck is just too elusive. Well, Hava is trying to disjoint something that never really happened. Now they're gonna focus here on the Viper. He's being disarmed, can't really do anything. He's being taunted, but he's just buying time because they're gonna focus on the throne. The cliff is just too far away, 40 more seconds. But look at this Omni Slash. So much damage here on the Shadow Fiend. Do they turn it around? No, it's not enough. The focus on the throne was absolutely enough, but wow. The entire game I was like, wow, okay, that's Axe. It didn't really work out. But this last call on a bot back TA, that was just making the game. He wins absolutely unexpected for me.
Amazing job.
Yeah, that was amazing. But guys, don't run away. This is a best of 3. My name is HeflaTV, and casting with me as my co-caster is Mr. D Sportfish. And we're coming back for game number 2. If it's just as exciting, I'm absolutely looking forward to it. So it's absolutely worth it. Of course, you can also go watch Izzy on frickin' D2L, but here we have the real action. So be right back. Game 2 coming up.